Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum assalam wa barakatuh. Muhammad Islam, an electronic engineer from Birmingham, UK. Now social media has become more popular and most of the people watch Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, etc. rather than satellite channels. Is it wise to continue broadcasting Islamic satellite channels? Will it not be better to spend the same time, money and energy on social media where we will get better results for Dawah? This is a very important question that has been asked by Muhammad Islam from UK, and this is a common question asked by many, that now that social media is picking up, it's becoming more popular, there are less people watching satellite, so won't it be beneficial to stop the Islamic satellite and concentrate on social media? Let me tell you that every media has its own pros and cons. As far as satellite media is concerned, it is a very important tool for Dawah, and today I would say it is one of the most important media in the world today for propagation. I agree that the social media is picking up, internet is picking up, and people are spending less time on the television, but yet there may be future after some years, maybe 5 years or 10 years, where it may be more low, but yet in spite of this, yet according to me, satellite yet has one of the biggest reach. I'm aware that whether in Western countries or in other parts of the world, people are more watching social media on the internet as compared to satellite. The average time that a person used to watch the television first was about 5 hours, 6 hours, now it's gone down to 2.5 hours, and even social media is coming close to it, about 2.5 hours. So in US, if you do a survey, on average, person maybe spends about 3 hours on social media, 3 hours on the satellite. The difference between a satellite and a social media is that a social media, to be on the social media, you have to have internet. And only those who are involved with internet can watch it, unlike the television channel. So today's statistics tell us that internet is available in more than 65 to 70% of the world population. And social media is used by about 60% of the world population. Internet may be about 65%, and 60% of the world population uses social media. The satellite, you don't have to be internet savvy. The person who's elderly watches satellite, the person who's young, the person who's from most parts of the world. In social media, the elder generation, very old, are not yet connected to it, or the very young generation, it's catching up. The difference is that in the satellite, once you telecast on a particular satellite, once you pay money for that, suppose you pay $40,000, $50,000 a month. So whether one person watches it, or 10 people watch, or 1 million or 100 million, the cost is the same. In the social media differs. There are two types of social media. One is the paid social media, and one is the free social media. What you're talking about, the YouTube, the Instagram, the Facebook, the X or Twitter, all these are free social media. Let me tell you at the outset, you cannot say everything what you want to say on the free social media. I cannot say everything what I want to say on my Facebook page, or on my YouTube, or on my Instagram, or on my Twitter. It will get blocked. So, because this free social media are controlled by the owners of this free social media, they have their own policies, they give you free, they make money, but they have their rules and regulations. You cannot say everything what you want to say, unlike the satellite channel. So the difference is, I do agree that the satellite channel to start was expensive. Earlier in the 90s was very expensive. In 2000 became cheaper. Now it's very cheap. Previously you had to have minimum $1 million a month. Now you can start a satellite channel even with $10,000 or $15,000 a month. You can do it. Even with $15,000, although it will be a low-end channel. The low-end channel you can even start for $15,000. I know channels today we spend only $15,000 a month and they are satellite channels. Of course, they are low-end channels. What you find that on the free social media, you are bound by the rules and regulation. And people really don't know the difference. If this was the case, then all the satellite channels should have closed by now. Why is BBC spending hundreds of millions of dollars? Why is Al Jazeera spending more than $400 million a year on Al Jazeera? They have the social media, they have the satellite, it has its own benefits. For example, BBC, which has the largest viewership amongst any news channel in the world, has about 225 million or 250 million. On the YouTube, they only have 14.5 million subscribers. Can you believe? On the YouTube, they have only 14.5 million subscribers. On the satellite, they have 225 million. That is, it is more than 15 times more on the satellite. So this is a wrong conception or a misconception that people think always social media is more. Yes, social media is free. And one more thing, on the social media is limited. On the Facebook, I can post only 2 or 3 posts a day. If I post more, the viewership goes down. On the YouTube, if I post 2 or 3 videos, okay. If I post 10 or 15 videos, it goes down. Imagine I'm only posting about 2 or 3 videos of 5 minutes. That's it. So what Dawah I'm doing on the YouTube is 15 minutes in a day. On the satellite, I have a 10-hour cycle, which repeats maybe twice a day, 11 hours, 12 hours. So I'm showing 10 hours of content unique. How can you compare a Peace TV, where 10 hours Islamic program is shown in the full day, it's repeated twice, as compared to YouTube, 15 minutes? What is the viewership on the YouTube? A few million. The Peace TV at its peak in 2015-16, the Peace TV English alone had 100 million viewers. Peace TV Urdu, 80 million viewers. Peace TV Bangla, 50 million viewers. Peace TV Urdu had 20 million viewers. Compared to YouTube, at that time, my YouTube had 400,000. Now, mashallah, it has 3.63 million subscribers. You cannot compare the reach. Similarly, my Facebook, alhamdulillah, it is the largest Facebook of any religious speaker in the world. My Facebook has 23.5 million followers. But again on the Facebook, I can give 3 or 4 posts or 2 or 3 videos. I cannot say everything. I cannot even post the translation of the Quran on my Facebook. I cannot post all. It will get blocked. I remember when Macron spoke against the Prophet, I just quoted the verse of the Quran that Allah will punish those people who speak against the Prophet, and my Twitter account got closed. Imagine, I cannot give a post mentioning the translation of the Quran in the free social media. Some I can, not all. I remember when Dr. Israr Ahmed, so when his YouTube channel was blocked, I think last year, 1.5 years back. Why? Because that's some objection. So unlike a satellite channel, the YouTube is vulnerable. You cannot say everything what you want to say, whether the Facebook or YouTube or Instagram, and they can control. I remember that my Facebook was blocked in 2012. After 6 months, we started from June 2013, and we saw to it that we were careful. In 2012, my staff put some matter which was, objectionable. So we started controlling, okay, we will not say everything what you want to say. So in 2013, again, we got the same name, Zakir Naik, and we started. In 1 year, we reached 4 million, mashallah. In 2 years, 8 million. In 4 years, mashallah, it reached about somewhere close to 15 million views. And then, in the next about 6 years, it reached 22 million. Then another 4 or 5 years, it took 1 million. That means they reduced my growth. So if they want, they can block. You have the film stars, have 50 million. You have the football players, 100 million. So if they want, they can block. So since the last 4 years, what it's called as shadow banning. So after 22 million, my increase has been blocked. Previously, every year, the followers used to increase by 4 million. So for the first 5-6 years, it reached 22 million. Then now, after another about 5 years, it reached 1 million. So that means in a month, in a year, hardly 200,000. Previous was 4 million. It reduced by 20 times. Same thing by YouTube. It reached 3.63 million, then stopped. What you have to understand that this can be controlled by them, in short. So number one, you are completely at their mercy. They can shut your channel whenever they want. Your Facebook, your Instagram, YouTube. They didn't give me blue tick for Instagram for many years. Suddenly they gave. Now in 3-4 months it reached 1 million. Now it's 1.1 million. And even there it started, the moment it crossed 1 million, the daily increase in followers reduced. So they have control. Who they want to promote? They want to promote a film star. They want to promote a person who's a singer or a sportsman. It depends upon them. You are at their mercy, number one. Number two, you cannot say what you want to say. You have to be selective. Number three, the volume is very small. In full 24 hours, I can give 3 or 4 posts, 2 or 3 videos of about 5. If I give long videos, the viewership is not there. If I post 20, it will not be seen. They control it. So you cannot compare a 24/7 satellite channel to a free social media. Coming to the question of expenses. Yes, the free social media, the bandwidth is free. You have to spend only on the production cost. In satellite, the production has to be of higher quality. It will be watched in higher quality. But if you are on the satellite, indirectly you come on the social media without saying. So whatever comes on Peace TV, indirectly comes on the YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, because that's a higher platform. So the lower platform, indirectly, without you wanting it, comes. That's not the case if you're on the free social media. You cannot come on the satellite, because the quality of the free social media is very poor. It's a low resolution. So the benefits of a satellite is that if you have a large viewership, it's worth it. So if you want to be on the social media without being controlled by these giants of free social media, whether it be Facebook or YouTube or Instagram or Twitter, which became X now, what you have to do? You have to follow the paid social media. And the most famous paid social media, it is the Netflix. But there, you have to pay for the bandwidth. If you want cheap quality bandwidth, you can get. But if you want high quality, like on Amazon, then you have to pay for it. So compared to a satellite, as I was saying, if you pay for one satellite, about $30,000 or $40,000 a month, when the one person watches, or 10 people watches, or 1 million people watch, 100 million people watch, the cost is same. In a paid social media, more the number of people watch, the more you have to pay for the bandwidth. So if Peace TV today, all the 4 satellite channels put together, has 200 million viewers, if I have to pay for the bandwidth of 200 million people, or Netflix is paying, I can't afford it. The cost of the bandwidth as compared to satellite will be 10 times or 50 times more. So if you have a satellite channel which is popular and has a large viewership of tens of millions, hundreds of millions, please continue it, don't stop it. If you have a satellite channel which has a small viewership and you're paying for the bandwidth, it will be expensive. Then you have to think about it and shut it down. But Peace TV has a large viewership. All put together 200 million. And when we are financially constrained, we stopped some of the satellites. But yet, today, the cost of the bandwidth of satellite is cheap. So what Dawah we are doing on the Peace TV, the cost compared to a paid satellite is negligible, it's peanuts. Compared to free social media, it is free. But again, if I have to pay for the production, I better pay for the production, pay something more for the bandwidth, and reach a larger audience. So Peace TV, mashallah, today, yet has 95% of its viewership. And if you analyze, the Peace TV has got non-Muslim audience also. It's the only Islamic channel which has more than 20% non-Muslims. That most of the latest channels don't have non-Muslim audience. If you, like which most of the Islamic channels, they only watch by Muslim. Maybe some may have 0.5%, 0.1%, 0.2%. Peace TV, mashallah, has 20% non-Muslims. Because on Peace TV, you have comparative religion. We speak about science and other things which attracts the non-Muslims. Therefore, 20 to 25% of the viewership of Peace TV, mainly in English and Urdu, they are non-Muslim. So this is a great asset. So it is naive to say that close your satellite channel and start social media. We have to do it all. Of course, Facebook has benefits. We are continuing. And alhamdulillah, as far as social media is concerned, there is no religious speaker which has the following which we have, mashallah. It is the largest in the world. Of course, what you have to realize, that people fail to realize that when they are on the satellite, if you are launching an English satellite, you should have your presence where English speaking people are there. Unfortunately, the English channel that was launched before Peace TV, like the Islam channel, they were present mainly in UK and in Europe. People fail to realize that amongst the Muslim, the majority of the people amongst the Muslim, we are more than 2 billion Muslims, out of which, as I mentioned, about 400 million people speak Arabic, and Muslims speaking Arabic maybe about 380 million. According to me, the language which is spoken maximum amongst the Muslim is not Arabic, it will be Urdu. Urdu Hindi mixed. It will be close to 400 million or somewhere equal. If not more, it will be equal. So according to me, amongst the Muslim, the language maximum spoke is Urdu, or maybe Urdu and Arabic is same. Arabic is about 380 million, Urdu is about 380 million to 400 million. And English, according to my survey, would be 350 million. But out of the 350 million people speaking English in the world, half of them are in the Indian subcontinent. So launching an Islamic channel, and only in Europe, how many Muslims are there in Europe? How many? The majority of the English speaking Muslims, more than 50%, are in the Indian subcontinent. In Europe, maybe 20, 30, 40 million, not more than that. So you launch a channel and keep it only in the Middle East and Africa and Europe, okay, that will be maybe 30%, 40% of the English speaking in the world. If you don't have in the Indian subcontinent, then that means you don't know your statistics. If you're launching an English channel, in Islamic channel, in English, and you want the Muslims to watch, it should be seen in the Indian subcontinent. And if you want non-Muslims to watch, of course, non-Muslims more will watch in the Indian subcontinent than the other parts of the world. That is the reason our viewership, because of the quality, because of the strategic location, we were more than 15 satellite channels. Now we are reduced to about, we are 9. We used to pay for 7 and we were shown on 15. Now we pay for about 4 and we are seen in about 9 satellite channels. But yet the reach is there. So it would be foolish that now when the cost has come down, to stop it, it has a great impact. As a Muslim, we should be involved in all the media, whether it be satellite, whether it be free social media, whether it be paid social media. And we know that we launched a paid social media, Al Hidayah, which is the Islamic version of Netflix, which is the largest Islamic video on demand and largest Islamic course in the world, where we have more than 40 authentic speakers of the videos, thousands of hours of the video on the platform Al Hidayah, and more than 100 courses. And every month we have few courses being released and hundreds of hours being released. And we have kept the lowest version, the lowest entry level, that is the 240p, as free. So if you want a higher quality, That is, if you want the 540p or the high definition or 2K, 4K, you have to pay subscription. So though it is not like Netflix, you can't get free, we didn't want anyone to say that because we can't afford, we cannot watch it. Okay, the basic version 240p where you can watch on a mobile or lower resolution on a computer, it's free. If you want a clearer version, because the bandwidth costs money, so if you want a higher version, then you have to pay for it. And the Peace TV is also then there in the internet throughout the world through an app, a Peace TV app. It's absolutely free. So as Muslims, we should make use of the satellite, which today, according to me, is one of the largest and the best way of doing dawah, reaching the maximum people in the world. You have to use the free social media, we should use the paid social media, whatever platforms are available in the best way so that we can present our deen to the maximum people in the world.